Welcome to Greater Good Radio Hawaii, where leaders inspire leaders. Greater Good Radio Hawaii is dedicated to social entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Evan Leong, and with me is my co-host, Carrie Leong.
Under his leadership, Bank of Hawaii's market share grew from 7% in 1995 to over 30% in 2001. His track record stands proof to his adeptness and knowledge in the industry. He is a proven sales manager and leader and enjoys an excellent reputation among the state's realtors, builders, developers, and other real estate professionals. Through his talent and leadership, he has made a successful merger with one of the state's largest financial institutions, Central Pacific Bank. Please welcome to Greater Good Radio, President and Director of Central Pacific Homeloans, Tom Zimmerman. Welcome to our show, Tom.
Thank you so much for having me.
So home loans, how did you get started in the industry?
Well, it's an interesting story. I got out of Chaminade University, actually. Graduated there with a business degree in finance, specializing in finance, and actually went into stocks and bonds, obtained a Series 7 license, and realized quite quickly that the market was open at 2 a.m. in Hawaii, and I couldn't quite stay up 18 hours a day that it took, so decided to transfer into real estate finance. And I was fortunate enough to receive an opportunity to work at Honolulu Mortgage Company, and that began my career in mortgage finance as actually an administrative assistant to a commercial loan officer.
So you were just doing like gopher kind of work or what?
Yeah, I was effectively a secretary when I started, administrative assistant being the term of the day, for a gentleman named Tom Ritchie, who still does mortgages here in town. He did commercial real estate lending, and I was fortunate to get to work for Tom. I was also fortunate to get to work for his boss at the time, Ron Schmid, who ultimately became my mentor. A really great opportunity.
And Ron is with you in Hawaii when you went to Hawaii HomeLoans and then now Central Pacific.
Ron was my one of my two primary partners at Hawaii HomeLoans. He was my boss at Bank of Hawaii. He was also a partner, again, when we started the company at Hawaii HomeLoans. But when we sold the company to Central Pacific Bank, Ron retired again for the second time. Ron retires like a boxer, kind of repeatedly.
So going up the ranks in the industry, when did you decide to start Hawaii HomeLoans?
I spent 5 years at Honolulu Mortgage, initially as an administrative assistant, and then running their project lending department, financing builder production, such as Schuler Homes, Gentry Homes, Castle & Cook. And, had a fortunate stay there. Ron Schmid then transferred to Bank of Hawaii, moved to Bank of Hawaii to run their mortgage production, and I followed him. That was January of '95. And got an opportunity to run the loan origination at Bank of Hawaii and spent 7 years there. Really enjoyed it. As you stated earlier, our market share grew. We had just a great team of people. It was wonderful to get a chance to work with people like Marie Manaka, Gail Ishima, people that are extremely well known in the industry. And decided after 7 years at Bank of Hawaii that I wanted to do something a little more entrepreneurial. So we, Ron Schmid, Gail Ishima, and I decided to start a company called Hawaii HomeLoans. We incorporated that company in December of '01 and opened the doors in April of '02.
And then you sold it when?
We sold it in September of '05. So it was a little over 3 years old. We had, as the old saying goes, it's better to be lucky than good. When we opened the doors in April of '02, Mr. Greenspan lowered interest rates significantly, and we immediately had a very fast-growing company. In fact, I think we were up to 100 people within 6 months. Because refinance and purchase transactions in the real estate market were just taking off. So we were really fortunate to grow very, very quickly. We built an asset, a servicing portfolio there, and then were approached in mid '05 by the folks at Central Pacific Bank, Clint Arnaldus, Glenn Fujimoto, to discuss their acquisition of our company.
It's kind of like an internet company almost, right? I mean, in terms of the growth rate and then the acquisition.
The growth rate was very quick, but And we used a lot of technology, but unlike an internet company, we had bricks and mortar space and, a lot of folks there. So, yeah, it was really rapid development of the company, rapid growth for us.
Have you always been entrepreneurial, or was it that itch where you go, wow, there's a lot of money to be made, let's start something and try and keep more of the profits?
Well, I think I've always been entrepreneurial. I've always liked to start things. But being in banking, it's not as entrepreneurial as I would have liked in the longer haul. I really enjoyed my time at Bank of Hawaii, and I've enjoyed my time at Central Pacific. But the entrepreneurial itch to start Hawaii HomeLoans was something that just came over the course of time. So trying something new.
Was that the first business you ever started?
Yes, it was. Actually, first business I ever started. Same thing with Ron and Gail. So it was quite an undertaking for the three of us to start a company of that size. We knew we were biting off a lot, and hopefully it didn't turn out to be more than we could chew, and it didn't. We ended up being able to grow the company quite successfully. Of course, we'd had a lot of experience in the mortgage business, so that helps.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.